Hey guys, it's Joe Ayler, Tar Heel Construction Group. We are here in Abingdon, Harford County, Maryland. Just to let you guys know, we're Tar Heel Construction Group. We are a local home improvement contractor focusing on roofing, siding, and gutters. Give us a call at 410-638-7021 or reach out to us online at tarheelconstructiongroup.com. Have a great day.
I am sitting here today with the man himself, Michael Blum, and we're going to be talking about the big thing every year in July, the Bel Air Independence Day Parade. And Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is actually on July 4th, right?
Yes, we are one of the few parades that we parade on July 4th. It doesn't matter what day of the week July 4th is. We're there. So every year I get asked the question, what day is your July 4th parade on? And I answer July 4th.
Good.
I do it straight without smirking. And the reason is, look, in Harford County, we have Darlington, which parades in June usually. This year is no exception. We have Harford Grace, which parades in whatever weekend is closer to the 4th. This year they're doing July 2nd.
Right.
So there's no question that if you have, all you need is one other parade not to be on July 4th to sow a certain amount of doubt in people's minds. So that's okay. We have been for at least 35 years, 6 p.m. on July 4th. Now, I only know 35 years, maybe 38 years, but it may have been in the afternoon in the 1960s, but at some point in the early 1980s, we migrated to an evening parade, and I think the reason is we could, in those days, parade and then have a slight break and then do fireworks.
Okay.
And make them part of one come to Bel Air for the parade and the fireworks. And that's after dinner. Have a cookout, and then come to Bel Air, get your seat, see the parade, go to the fireworks. Now, things have changed a little bit, but that still is the case. We have a slightly longer break between the parade and the fireworks now because the parade's a little shorter than it used to be. And the reason for that is we have to accommodate, and this is very important that people understand, we could not do our parade successfully without the help and assistance of our public servants, particularly the public works and the police department. The parade and the fireworks has to accommodate a shift change. So there's a shift change. Remember, it's July 4th, so that's triple overtime.
Right.
So there's a shift change between the daytime shift and the evening shift, and we have to allow enough time to go by to have a shift change in the Bel Air Police Department between the end of the parade and the actual setup for the beginning of the fireworks. And people don't realize that, but of course it makes sense if you think about it.
Absolutely.
You can't. It's like if you're watching an ice hockey game, they have shift changes, and they don't. They keep that puck safely on the neutral ice while they have a shift change. Well, we do the same thing in a big way. So there you go. So we do the parade. The parade starts at 6 p.m. on the evening of July 4th, and that is a great benefit and also a great risk at the same time. The benefit because it really doesn't get in the way of anything else, and it doesn't. Where we're able to be the final parade of the day in the greater Baltimore metropolitan area. There are a whole bunch of parades that usually are on July 4th, beginning with Dundalk, which I believe starts at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Maybe 9 a.m. It's very early. Then Towson's at noon. Catonsville is at 3. Lincecum, I think, is at 2. Kingsville is at 4. And Annapolis is at 3 o'clock. So they're all through the day, and we are at 6. So in terms of, who cares? You as a spectator are only going to go to one parade a day. That's true.
Right.
But the bands do multiple parades.
Yeah.
We have not. Some of them do 3, 4. Some even do 5 parades on one day. We are always the last parade, so they're nice. They're definitely a little crispy by the time they get to us.
Yeah.
But we are the last parade. We are the last parade of the day. So that's the benefit. The risk and detriment is weather. If you're going to have a thunder shower in July, it's going to be at 6 p.m. It's not going to be at 8 a.m. It's going to be at 6 p.m. The heat's going to build during the day. And even thunder shower. And sure enough, we've had them. We are the parade that goes with whatever the weather is. The only reason we would not parade if there was something of absolute public concern, public safety, like a tornado.
Right.
Other than that, we have paraded in downpours. I thought I was going to drown on Main Street. The rain was so heavy. We came out. The crowd came out. The bands performed in the rain. It was great. Actually, and this is one of the great secrets of parading, a very slight mist is a good thing because it cools everybody down and doesn't really get in the way. The worst thing for a parade is 95 degrees and hot. And boy, we've had that. Because everybody, by the end of the day, they're glassy-eyed and catatonic. And tempers flare. And you remember, these are crowds and alcohol is served and things happen. So we want, well, of course we want it to be like it was, say, yesterday, which is a beautiful sunny day with a high around 80 degrees. What could be better than that? Slight breeze blowing, clear blue sky, smoke from Canada. Well, maybe not smoke from Canada, but, that sort of thing. And we got that last year and the year before. So maybe we're on a good streak now. But for a while, we had 3 or 4 parades in a row in the teens where it rained. And we went on anyway. And that's the way it goes because the parade cannot be rescheduled. And remember, we're closing streets down. We've got the military. We've got these bands. We have all these things. It's a huge public works, police. It can't be rescheduled. It just is. If it gets canceled, it just doesn't occur. We have canceled, people always ask this question. We have canceled one parade to my knowledge in 1989 when there was a hurricane up the coast. And we knew in advance, we would not cancel the parade now. The weather we had in 89, we would do the parade now in that same weather. We didn't do it in 89. So what can I say? I mean, again, the public safety issue, that's something we'd have to deal with. But other than that, the parade's the parade. You want to ask about it? Our parade has a little bit of everything. A parade reflects the community in which it exists. So our parade, unlike, say, a Disney parade, which is all pre-programmed and pre-recorded, we do it the same thing on tracks that are embedded in the street 3 times a day, 365 days a year. We have the community in our parade. I put it this way, we have 5,000 performers, 20,000 spectators, and no rehearsal. So we have bands. We have 21 or 22 bands, and they come from all over. Some of them are local. Bella, we have every public high school in Harford County has a marching band in the parade this year. We have professional bands from in-state and out-of-state. They come from as far as upper New York State, Buffalo area, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia. We used to have a wonderful band from Canada. They can't come this year. They wanted to come. The Philippine Heritage Band from Toronto, they couldn't afford the cost of the buses, gasoline, and bus rentals. They were going to do 5 parades in Baltimore, and maybe they'll come back next year.
Wow.
They haven't been here since 2018, I think. We used to have bands out of Key West, but again, travel is too difficult now.
Right.
So we have bands. Everyone else is pretty low. We have bands in Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Harford County, Lancaster County, whatever county Reading is in. I don't know what county Reading is in. There's a wonderful band, the Reading Buccaneers from Reading, PA. Wherever Reading is, that's where they're from. We have a Mummers Band from Philadelphia. It's really wonderful. We have floats. A float, if you see the Orange Bowl Parade on TV, or you see the Tournament of Roses, those are floats. Okay, fine. They cost $50,000, $75,000 each. Our parade doesn't cost $75,000. So therefore, our floats, if you have a pickup truck hauling a trailer, that's a float.
Right.
We define that as a float. Okay. So anybody we have scout troops on floats. We have occasionally marinas towing a boat. That's a float. We have church groups. That's a float. We have corporations, businesses. That's a float. We have clubs. That's a float. Anything's a float. We love floats because you can decorate a float. It's hard to decorate a marching unit. Couple guys riding bicycles, hard to decorate that. a trailer with a structure on it. And over the years, we've had fantastic structures.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is why we have a theme. We have a theme every year because obviously our overall abiding theme is patriotism.
Mm-hmm.
We salute what is best in our town, Bel Air, in our community, in our county, and in our nation. We are patriotic. We believe in everything that is good about us as a people.
Yes.
Comes together in friendship and patriotism on the 4th of July. We have a theme every year, and we have a theme every year to help people decorate floats if they wish. At the 200th anniversary of the Star Spangled Banner in 2014, our theme was 200th anniversary of the Star Spangled Banner. In 2021, coming out of the pandemic, our theme was honoring healthcare workers. In 2022, it was honoring Harford County education. This year, because it's Harford 250, it's Harford 250. We
Makes
have a
sense.
Harford 250 float. You don't have to adopt our theme. You have to be patriotic. You have to agree to our overall abiding vision, which is one of fellowship, inclusion, patriotism, and honoring our local town, community, county, and nation.
Good.
With no negativity. We want the 4th of July to be a day in which everybody, no matter how different you are, comes together to celebrate what is best and good in our community. And
Celebrating our freedom.
Celebrate our freedom. And if you can illustrate that in what you do in the parade, then you're going to be in the parade. If no division, nothing divisive,
right.
Nothing negative. And we have had groups, for instance, every year there are occasionally groups in Harford County that are, I don't know how you define them, they are formed to protest something. Perhaps a real estate development that they don't like. They are formed of citizens against digging a hole in the ground at the corner of Main and Ash. And I'm okay with that. If they want to be in our parade and say, we love the corner of Main and Ash. We think the corner of Main and Ash is the most beautiful corner in the history of the world. I'm okay with that.
Right.
If they want to say, stop digging, I'm not okay with that because that's negative. Vote against digging at the corner of Main and Ash. Nope, that won't be allowed. But support Main and Ash, that's okay. A religious group asked me yesterday, can we have our banner? And I said, what does your banner say? And they said, love everyone and support each other. I said, of course. Love everyone and support each other is what we believe in.
Right.
So that is fine. Now, you can say that I'm a Pollyanna, but I believe in the good in people. I believe that people are good and that if maybe they need to be reminded of it, but there's nothing better than a parade to bring that out. So that's the parade. 6 o'clock on Tuesday, July 4th. How long is it? I don't know yet. We're still about a week away from the parade application deadline. I got 3 more parade units yesterday and today. I hope for another, say, 15 or 20 maybe. I do a little prospecting as in, hi, you were in the parade last year. You had a great time. Would you like to be in the parade this year? Now, applying to the parade does not guarantee admission to the parade.
Right.
I review every application, making sure that it fits our theme and also our feeling about things. This is our parade, I should say. Very important. The Bel Air 4th of July Parade is a product of the Bel Air Independence Day Committee Incorporated, which is a 501c3 organization that does all the events in Bel Air the 4th of July. It's our parade, it's our events, and as a famous lawsuit that I think was decided in 1997 determined, it's our parade. We can have whoever we want in it, and we don't have to say why. Now we want to include. Oh wow! And that people don't understand. Freedom in this country means you are free to have your own parade.
Right.
If you want a parade, you are free to do what we do, which is apply for a permit, close the streets down someplace, go to the streets down somewhere, and have a parade as long as you get approval. That's what we do. And if your parade, you can be in it, and you can have whoever you want in it, or whoever you don't want in it is not in it. And that, I hate to be weird about it, but that's the way the law is. It's our parade. We believe in inclusion as long as you are consistent with being inclusive and you are patriotic and you support what we believe in. I don't vet your business to see what your customer satisfaction is. I can only allow businesses who have 5 stars. No, forget that. If you're a law firm, if you're a well driller, a lot of commercial entities are in our parade because it's good advertising. Why not? If they're as patriotic as we are, after all, businesses are legal entities too. So we have everybody from the military, we have the 20th Saberni from the APG. Saberni is chemical, biological, radiological, and I think environmental command. They're the guys that if you had a nuclear warhead, they would come and defuse it. I don't know how they would defuse it, but they were the people you would call. So they support us every year. They have the wonderful helmet car, which
I love that thing.
And isn't that wonderful? They bring the helmet car. And they have a color guard. And we have, of course, the 2 American Legions from Bel Air, Post 39, which is on Hickory, and the Sergeant Alfred B. Hilton Memorial American Legion Post 55, which is on Bond Street. We also have the sheriff's deputies. We have the Bel Air Town Commissioners. We invite elected public officials, out of respect for the office to which they hold, to be in our parade as that office that they have been elected to by the people of Harford County. We do not allow any electioneering. We don't allow anybody to say vote for or elect. We simply honor our elected officials. Who do we have? Well, this is every year. But we generally get the county executive, the county council president. We get delegates and state senators. We once had a Governor Ehrlich a couple of times, Governor O'Malley at least once that I remember. I invite them every year. We've had senators, Senator Sarbanes, Senator Cardin was here. I don't think we've ever had Senator Van Hollen. He tends to do Annapolis. I'd love Senator Cardin to come back. He's retiring. But, it's a long way to go for Senator Cardin. So it is what it is. We invite them all. Congressman. Generally, Andy Harris was in the parade last year. We have never had Dutch Rupertsberger, but we've invited him. Back in the old days, Clarence Miles was in the parade. Helen Delich Bentley did our parade many times as a congressman from Harford County. She walked. We tried to put her in a car. Elected public official Helen Delich Bentley was a tough broad. That's all I can say. She took no nonsense from anyone. Anyways, who else do we have? We have the whole day of 4th of July in Bel Air. We have a flag raising at 6:30 a.m. at the high school. We have what are called family-friendly competitions all morning, all in the various parks. We have horseshoe pitching in Rockfield. People come from all over the East Coast. Evidently, we have one of the best horseshoe pitching competitions. We give out big trophies. That must be it. Big trophies. We have water back in Shamrock. We have water balloon toss, which you got to see to believe. We have bocce fun and demonstration. We have Uncle Sam Says. We have watermelon eating, which is a wonderful thing to do on a hot summer morning. In the Bel Air Elementary School parking lot, we have a bicycle rodeo, a wonderful event. The Bel Air High School Boosters have the pancake breakfast. We used to run the pancake breakfast at Bel Air High School. But
I was going to say, did the Lions Club used to do that?
Yeah. The Lions Club were our volunteers. The Lions Club, as part of their volunteer thing, came into our committee and handled our pancake breakfast. It was a major fundraising benefit for us. However, as years went by, the cost and everything skyrocketed, and it turned out to be a loss. And we have to raise every dollar that we have. So we couldn't afford a loss. So the only way to continue the pancake breakfast was actually give it to the Bel Air High School Boosters, which have their own volunteers. And I think we sold them our gas grills. So the Bel Air High School Boosters, as part of Bel Air High School, don't have some of the administrative and insurance-related hurdles that we had to overcome. They were able to make it a big fundraiser. We already had the Bel Air High School football team helping out inside, serving people, and the Lions are on the outside cooking. So I think it's all boosters now. But we cooperate with them, but it's their event. We have that explains it. So it still goes on. People in the community, it's distant. Bel Air High School is distant from Rockfield Park. It's distant from Shamrock Park. It's distant from Bel Elementary School. So we spread out all over the town of Bel Air. Back in the old days, we used to have everything at the middle school before they rebuilt it. Bel Air Middle School, we had the pancake breakfast underneath the eaves. We had all the stuff, or the horseshoe pitching was on one side. We had bicycle rodeo on the other side, that kind of thing. But now, as the years have gone by, we expanded it, and now it covers pretty much the whole town of Bel Air. So
well, it's grown too.
Yeah, it's grown. It's grown hugely. And I think of the permitting and the fireworks. Think of the permitting that we require to fire explosive incendiary devices over a populous area in the sky in the year 2023. Think of the permits that requires from the state, from the local, from the fire marshal, the fire department, from the police department. We have to patrol the boundary. It's quite something, but we pull it off. We wish we had a big river with an island in it that we could put our fireworks on, or a barge in the middle of the harbor and put the fireworks on, and people line the sides of the harbor 3,000 feet away to fire off those fireworks. I suggested we flood the entire town of Bel Air 2 feet deep and put a barge there, but somehow that suggestion didn't go over real well. So Rockfield Park is about the best place we could find.
Yeah.
And we have to. We haven't been at the high school since the construction, since the demolition of the old Bel Air High School. We have not been able to be at the high school. It's just there's too much. It's too restrictive.
Yeah.
So we do for Rockfield. It's very complicated. The fireworks people. We have some of the best fireworks shooters in the world. The guy who wrote the book on fireworks safety is our shooter, the guy who actually sets off the fireworks, which means that we have a much easier path towards approval of our permits because we have real professionals shooting them off.
Right.
And we don't, that's an important thing. Look, it's 20 minutes long, but it's a lot of boom, boom, boom. Right. So,
boom, boom, bang, bang.
Boom, boom, bang, bang. We used to hire big out-of-state companies, Zambelli, some other companies like that, and we went with local from local Pennsylvania, Maryland, who were better. They know the territory. They're from here. Many of them are actual sheriff's deputies or Maryland State Troopers who are moonlighting, which is good because we have good security at the same time.
Right.
Anyway, so there we are. We have a wonderful parade, floats, marching units, bands. We have some of the most interesting horses this year, a big equestrian unit. Horse-drawn carriages, horses, riders, horse-drawn wagons, horses. I have animals. We have a petting zoo that brings, cows and sheep and goats, I guess. We have all kinds of interesting miniature horses, big horses. It's just a wonderful thing. It's all from Harford County, and it shows Pennsylvania. It shows what we are as a community. How long is the parade? As I said, I don't know. Somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours from where you sit. And remember, it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to do the parade route. It's about a mile long. So if you're sitting near the end of the parade, and the parade begins at 6 o'clock, it doesn't get to you till 25 after 6, of course. If you sit at the beginning of the parade route, it gets to you at 6 o'clock. So how long is it? From where you sit, it's probably about an hour and 3/4. And that's the right time because we went to a parade that was 3 hours long. And as wonderful as it was, A, it got dark. Whoops. Mm-hmm. B, the attention span of the people. After about an hour and a half, it's like, oh, God, what now? Oh, what now? We have fire engine. We must have 40 pieces of fire apparatus. The volunteer fire companies are really wonderful, and they really help out. The only challenge that we have is, after all, the volunteer fire companies are in the parade, but they're also answering fire calls.
Exactly.
So, and they're all over the county. We have the entire county in the parade. So that means that the volunteer fire company that I expect to be third is not there. Why? They're answering a call. Yeah. So it's always a bit about, okay, who do we have now? The hardest thing about the parade is staging it. And the people don't know that because you sit there in your chair by the side of the road, and people put out their chairs days before. Technically, the rule is midnight the night before is when the streets are free. But I've seen chairs there 3 days before. Who's counting?
Hey, I don't care. I got a reserved seat. So,
There you go. You sit there and you see the parade go by. You don't realize that we've staged it in 4 or 5 different areas.
right.
And we have brought it together at the Ground Zero parade beginning, which is the corner of Idlewild and South Main. At that point, it becomes the parade. It then marches north on Main Street all the way to Gordon Street, which is the Historical Society.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends right there at the Welcome to Bel Air sign, right at the Gordon Street and North Main. So it goes uphill to the crest and around Broadway, downhill to Lee, and back uphill to Gordon Street. Not much of a hill, but Bel Air to Bel Air. And it's straight shot, and the sidewalks are free, and people stand on the balconies, and we have vendors go up and down the parade route selling food and novelties.
Mm-hmm.
I got a vendor solicitation today. We used to be in that business, and we got out of it. Now we have professional vending companies that have licenses. We give them a license to sell
Right.
on our streets on the day of the event, and that's a significant source of revenue for us. We have patrons. We couldn't do it without our patrons. I start with Jones
Mm-hmm.
Junction. Jones Junction Automotive Group is our premier patron. Without their support, we could not do the event.
Oh, they've been a big supporter every year, haven't they?
Big supporter every year,
Yeah.
and they deserve the support of the community, just if only because of the support that Jones Junction, Jones Toyota, Nissan, Subaru, Hyundai,
Mm-hmm.
Jeep, Chrysler, Kia, whatever they've got, used cars, Jeep, Ram, they support. Did I say Toyota? I think I did. They support our parade, and they are our premier sponsor. They are a wonderful group of people. Danny Jones and Brian Kilby, the owners.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other sponsors. We have many of the banks in town. We definitely have the credit unions in town that are band sponsors. We have some very forward-thinking local businesses that are band sponsors. That means they pay a significant fee that allows us to bring the bands into town. No bands play for free. All bands get paid. After all, they have dry cleaning of the uniforms. They have to pay their buses. They have to pay the gas.
Yeah.
Even Harford County high schools still cost money. The boost, if you have a child that's in a Harford County high school band, you're part of the band boosters. You know that raising money is a significant part of being a band booster. We help that by making a significant contribution to each individual Harford County public school that sends a band to our parade.
Good.
We also have a wonderful group, North Harford Neptunes, that carry our banners. Who carries our banners in front of them? Well, that takes about 40 people just to carry the banners. And we have about 40 to 50 parade marshals, 40 banner carriers. Think how many people it takes to actually stage. And then my senior staff, we've got Christy Breslin and a guy named Rich Bennett on the reviewing stand doing the narration. We have...
Why would you get that guy?
We have judges that judge the units. We have occasional VIPs at the reviewing stand. It is a big operation. We have a wonderful soprano named what is her name? Mary Polentz. Mary Polentz does a beautiful job singing the national anthem at the flag raising and a couple other flag ceremonies. And then she, at the stroke of 6 p.m., from the reviewing stand, sings the Star Spangled Banner. She's a soprano soloist at St. Margaret's Church, and a wonderful singer she is. And she does that as a donation to us. It is beautiful, and she does a beautiful job. As I'm saying, and I'd like to conclude now, we mount our Bel Air Independence Day festivities out of respect and honor of our community, our town, our county, our state, and our nation, bringing together all the diverse people that make up our town, our county, our state, our nation, into one joint, fun, patriotic, family-friendly exercise for a few hours on the 4th of July, the date that we declared our independence. And our independence is a precious thing that needs to be celebrated every single year. My great-grandparents, all 8 of my great-grandparents were born in the Russian Empire. All 8 of them came across, as a result of pogroms and being expelled, came over to this country in the late 1880s or early 1890s. This was a free country with free boarders, and they accepted my 8 great-grandparents. None of them spoke a word of English. And
Right.
my family grew in Philadelphia and in Baltimore, and here I am 4 generations later.
Wow.
I am proud to be an American. I am proud to be a citizen of this country, and my duty as a citizen is to work as hard as I can to bring off the very best Bel Air July 4th parade as I possibly can. Also, I'm Uncle Sam for Uncle Sam Says. So, 34 years I've been Uncle Sam. Generations of kids in Bel Air have been at Uncle Sam Says, and they see me and they go, Uncle Sam, you are Uncle Sam. I go, Uncle Sam says, raise your hands. Uncle Sam says, cross your chest. Uncle Sam says, pat your head. 35 years as Uncle. Rub your stomach. Pat your head and rub. Oh, caught you, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam didn't say it.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that's great. Uncle Sam, Uncle Sam, a little thinner, beard. I try best I can. Rich, is that it?
Yeah, I just
I want
wanted
to thank you.
I want to thank you.
Rich. Everybody needs to know. Rich Bennett helps out. He's on the reviewing stand. He helps Christy, and they do a great job. Christy Bennett from Channel 13 and Rich Bennett, Christy Breslin.
Yeah, wait a minute. Don't marry us, Mike. Come
Don't
on
marry him
now.
off. Christy Breslin from Channel New Take. Got it? Christy Breslin from Channel 13, with the help of Rich Bennett, narrate our parade, and they do a fantastic job.
Well, thank you.
By yours truly, but narrate the parade, and I'm telling you, it's not easy because things happen during a parade. Well, just because I say it's going to be in this order doesn't mean, remember what I said, 5,000 performers, no rehearsal. Doesn't mean in the actual event it's going to be the way we said it was going to be. And Christy and Rich, look, once upon a time, and look, I'm not going to say anything. Christy and Rich are seriously challenged at times, and they come through 100%. Every time, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart. Okay, Rick. Okay.
It's my pleasure, and I'll be honest with you, and I think I told you guys this last year, because last year was the first year I did it, and it was a true honor. I mean, it was, I felt so, I guess you could say American.
American, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little story. Let me tell you a little story, and this is, my second child, my oldest son, in his senior year of high school, he had a senior project. They went to Russia. It was in 2001 or something like that. It was spring of 2001. They went to Russia for like 3 weeks, and in return, a whole bunch of Russian high school students came to America in June and July. And I took them to an Oriole Park at Camden Yards. I took them to the ball game. They rooted for the New York Yankees, because that's the only team they knew. Okay, but they came to our parade. They did the whole thing. We'll go to your parade. They said to us afterward, we couldn't believe it, they said. In Russia, a parade has army linked arms on both sides of the street with guns, and you stand behind linked soldiers as military vehicles go down the parade route. And they said, in America, oh my God, the people sit right there. The kids with flags, their feet are on the street. The parade goes down. It's so free. It's so open. It's so patriotic. We can't believe it. They were right. We don't realize what a precious thing our freedom is. May we never find out the hard way. Okay?
Yeah, we don't want to.
We don't want to. So
and for generations to come, we don't want them to either.
We don't want that. I have 4 children. I want them to enjoy the same freedom that I've enjoyed all my life, for them and my grandchildren, and I hope someday great-grandchildren. So that's all I got to say. Happy America. Happy 4th of July to everyone. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you, Mike, and I'll see you on July 4th.
Well, yes. I'll go by, as I always do, usually driving. I'm by the time the parade is over, I'm just ready to take a breath and go do the fireworks.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Don't blame you at all.
My problem is, as head of the parade, I never see the parade. I'm the guy who stands at ground zeros. Okay, you. Okay, you. Okay, you. Okay, no, not you. Not you. Wait, you wait. Wait. Okay, you. Okay, you. I never see the parade. I'm not kidding. That's what it's like. What do we do? He's missing. Okay, you go in his place. Okay, fine. That's what happened. Okay, somebody's got to tell Rich Bennett. We just took Unit 112 and we put it in Unit 45. So that kind of.
Is there video recorded of it?
This year, Harford Cable Network is live streaming the parade. I should have said that. Thank you, Harford Cable Network.
Harford TV is going. Okay.
Harford TV. I believe they are live streaming it, and they will also be available afterwards.
Good.
In the past, we have had occasional people sitting on the side doing a live Facebook stream of the parade, and those are you. Very thank you, Liz Janney from the Patch, for doing that over the course of the years. Those are useful for me afterwards to say, gee, I wonder what X unit looked like. Let's scroll through there. Oh, that's what it looked like. Because I have no memory. The judges come up with a winning float. I don't remember what that float looked like.
Yeah.
I'm too busy. I go look at that's what it looked like. Last year we had an education, sleuth education. We had a school bus float. They made a school bus out of chicken wire, and it was, remember that?
Yep.
It was impressive. And I had no memory of it whatsoever until I went and viewed the video afterwards. Too busy doing my job. Any other questions, Rich?
No, I just want to thank you. And as you just like last year, I'm really looking forward to it. I have my gear. I'm ready to go.
And I'm not ready yet. I'm in the heavy paper. Remember, every single unit, I have to do maps, instructions, guidelines, review of the rules, communicate to them, make sure they received it. And then, the maps include passes. We have a staging area where you're either a red unit or a green unit. Red goes one way, green goes another way. Once you get in the green area, you go one way or another way or a third way. In the red unit, you go this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. Red 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's also N lot. There's also P lot. There's also E lot. So everyone's got, it's very highly organized, because if it's not organized, it's a mess.
Yeah.
I suppose it would be possible. We did it years ago. When we were going a different direction, we had a randomized parade, which is we paraded people in the order in which they showed up, and mixing and matching. Okay, a float, now a band. Okay, now I'm marching it. But that didn't work for a couple of different reasons. One of them was, after a couple of years, people got the idea that if they got there early, they'd go through the parade early. So people started showing up at 1 o'clock, noon, 11 o'clock. We didn't have the roads weren't closed yet. We don't have a permit yet. So that got in the way. So, people are people. We do have people that most of the floats build their float in place. They get there around 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Because remember, the parade moves very slowly and deliberately. After 25 minutes to go a 25-minute mile is not what you call a sprint. So the parade goes at a walking pace. So a lot of things on floats couldn't travel. So they build them in place, and then they deploy. And when it's over, they go into the Klein's ShopRite parking lot, or on North Main Street, they take it apart.
Right, dismantle it.
Dismantle it, and they go on. That's how we do that. And then that's dispersal. We have 5 people that do nothing but dispersal. You go here, you go here, you go here, buses go there. And it's because otherwise you get what's called log jam. So you can't have that. You gotta disperse in an even manner. People don't realize how complicated it is, and that's fine. We want it to be a successful, smooth flowing parade. It's our job to make it look effortless, even though it's a huge effort.
And you're out there doing stuff all day because it's an all-day affair. So what time do you?
Well, I will.
And your volunteers start.
Right. I work in the parade all year. It doesn't stop.
Right.
I have the following year's parade application. Usually by July 5th or 6th, you can apply for the following year's parade. You brought that up, Rich, and it's a good point to say. We are all volunteers.
Right.
Nobody on the Bel Air Independence Day Committee is remunerated in any way, shape, or form. I'm lucky if I can get reimbursed for the expenses that I take, and I usually contribute it. I contribute all the notebooks. I contribute all the paperwork. I host the website for free. I do all that stuff for free. We're all volunteers. The wonderful Don Stewart, who is our treasurer, was our president for at least 25 years. A wonderful fellow. David Williams David Williams has been a part of the event for almost 30 years. Is our president now. His daughter Lisa is our secretary. I remember her as a middle school kid, as a young parade marshal. We have people in a second generation in our parade, in our behind the scenes structure.
Right.
We have many members of the Bel Air Lions helping out.
Mm-hmm.
Lions Club, Bel Air Lions. Look, Rich, I don't know if you're aware of this, but service clubs are under a lot of pressure now. Many service clubs have disbanded or can't get the volunteers, and we are lucky to have the Bel Air Lions. We couldn't do, again, I talk about the three major groups: Jones Junction, the Town of Bel Air, and the Bel Air Lions are the three groups that without them we could not pull the event off all day and all night. And their support, say, hey, Chief Chuck, Eddie Hopkins, the town administrator, Mayor Kevin Bianca, and the town of Bel Air commissioners, Mike Krantz, the town of Bel Air administration under Eddie Hopkins, and all the people, Julia Potler. Julia Potler runs the Bel Air Armory. We have 2 beds sleep in the armory because they're coming from far away and they have to leave very early, so they sleep in the armory. They just camp out on the armory floor. And one band from New Jersey and one band from upstate New York. And, they couldn't afford to rent a motel. This year, we have something we never have had before. We have giant inflatable balloons.
Huh?
Giant inflatable balloons in the sky. What happens, you ask, when you get to the power cables? Pull them down, pull them under the cables, let them back up. We have 2 so far. 2 giant balloons, a giant firecracker and a giant patriotic ball. And they are sponsored by, the Patriotic Globe is sponsored by University of Maryland Upper Chesapeake Medical Center, and the giant firecracker is, of course, Jones Junction. And we have never had this before. I have tried to find giant balloons, like the Macy's Day Parade in New York, right? I've tried to find giant balloons for 20 years. I've been running the parade for 30 years, but I've been trying to find the giant balloons for 20 years. And I finally found them. And I found them they were in the mayor's of Baltimore's Christmas parade. And by calling A, who called B, who called C, I found the guy who owns them. And we've got 2 of them in our parade. And with any luck, assuming they don't, get caught on the traffic line.
Right.
With any luck. And listen, that's not easy. The helium is very expensive. And it takes like 10 tanks of helium to fill one of these giant balloons. And then you have guy lines, and you got to, and so with any luck, next year we'll double it. This year we have 2 balloons. Maybe next year we have 4 balloons. We'll see.
That'd be nice.
We have a firecracker and a globe. I'd like to have an Uncle Sam balloon. Yeah. And an Eagle balloon. A Bel Air Town balloon. Wouldn't that be great? And every 20 units or so have a balloon, just like the Macy's Day Parade.
Yes.
Look up in the sky, see a balloon, and wouldn't that be a great crowd pleaser? That would be a crowd pleaser.
Without a doubt, without a doubt.
And I also run the Christmas parade in Bel Air, and they've got Christmas teams. Santa Claus, Rudolph. Elves and dwarves, or whatever they are. And if we can get sponsors, I like to have them for the Christmas parade as well.
That'd be nice.
Santa Claus in the 4th of July just doesn't work. But Uncle Sam,
he's a narrator.
That's right, Santa Claus is a narrator. Well, if Winter Wonderland had a float last year, I hope they'll float this year. Santa Claus relaxing at the beach, getting ready for Winter Wonderland in Bel Air. That's a good ad. And listen, let's face it, it's a good ad. If you're a business, how can you reach 20,000 people, with your message going by? This is how you do it.
Exactly.
I didn't know there was that. So that's why we have commercial units, mobile units and floats and marching units. Real estate agents that carry a sign. Why not?
Yeah.
Anything else, Rick?
No, that's it.
The balloons. 21, 22 bands, I can't remember. 21, 22 bands, about 20 floats, 2 gigantic balloons, color guards, military units, reserve units, all kinds of good stuff. All day, all morning events in the various parks. A wonderful day in Bel Air worth attending.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. And like I said, I'm honored to be a part of it. And I had a blast last year. I cannot wait for this year.
Either can I. Thank you, Rich. And can we
Thanks,
go over
Mike.
now?